everyone. Welcome back to the Legal Tea Podcast. I'm your host, Eleni Clarkson, and we're back with attorney Alexis Wilson. Today, we're going to be talking about expungements. Attorney, what is an expungement?
So an expungement is a process that a person will go through to have a criminal charge taken off their record. It doesn't actually erase the criminal charge because there are certain agencies that could still see the charge. However, it's not going to be used against you and it should not show up in a background check.
Who qualifies for an expungement in the state of Louisiana?
So actually, majority of the people who have criminal charges, whether felony or misdemeanor, qualifies for an expungement. But there is a list of charges that cannot be expunged.
Well, you already pretty much went into my next question. What criminal offenses cannot be taken off criminal records?
So it's 6 of them. Anything that's registered under that qualifies as a crime of violence, any sex crime, any distribution of controlled substance crime, which is pretty much drug charges, any domestic abuse battery charge, whether be it felony or misdemeanor, any stalking charge, and any charge involving minors or any charge against a minor cannot be expunged.
Is there a waiting period when you're ready to file for expungement?
Yes. So there is a thing in Louisiana called a cleansing period. For a misdemeanor, it's 5 years, and for a felony, it's 10 years. But it's 5 and 10 years from the completion of your sentence. So if you're on probation for 2 years, and say it take you, 3 years to actually complete probation, the cleansing period begins at the end of that 3 years.
Can you explain what is the first offender's pardon?
So yes, in the state of Louisiana, RS Code 15572B1, that defines the first offender's pardon, which says that upon your first conviction of a felony, upon the completion of that sentence, you will automatically qualify for a pardon, a first offender's pardon, without any action of the Board of Pardons or the governor. So it automatically kicks in once you complete your first sentence from a first-time felony conviction. And that applies to every first offender that's been convicted of a felony. So if you've been convicted of a felony and it was your first felony, your first offense, you may want to contact the court or the area that you went to court at, and they should be able to tell you how to obtain a copy of your first offender's pardon.
Lastly, what documents will I need to fully file for an expungement?
Okay, so say you have said and you've gone through everything, you've made it through the cleansing periods, and you're ready to move forward with filing an expungement. It can be done pro se, which means you can do it yourself, or you can contact an attorney. Probably an attorney is actually probably faster and better at the way of doing it, because if there's any pushback, it has to be approved by many different agencies of the state. If there's any pushback or if they don't approve it, a lawyer will be able to file for the hearing and get that done and get that taken care of. But generally, you would need certified court minutes of the charges that you're trying to get expunged. You would need a certified background check, which you will go to Louisiana, in state of Louisiana, you will go to Louisiana State Police, get your fingerprints done and get a certified background check. It has to be within, pretty sure, 90 days. It has to be recent, okay? So you will get a copy of your first offender pardon if you have that. And also, if the charges were dismissed or if the charges were acquitted, or if your lawyer was successful in a motion to quash, you will get a letter from the district attorney's office stating that's what happened. And once you gather all those documents, you could go to your local clerk of court office. Some clerk of courts have it online where you could go and print up the motion for expungement and you could just fill that out. But if not, you would get all that done, go to the lawyer, bring all that to the lawyer, or bring it to the clerk of court office, file it. It takes approximately, depends on if there's any kickback or anything like that, but the people that you send this out to have 60 days to respond. So if they don't respond within the 60 days, if they don't have any opposition within those 60 days, you will file the final motion for expungement. Once you file that final motion for expungement and it's signed by a judge, that's a done deal. It's expunged and it's done and over with.
Thank you, Attorney Wilson, for answering my questions regarding expungement. Now, we're going to switch gears a little bit. Today I have with me Mr. Tyson Wilson, a former client of attorney Alexis Wilson. Mr. Wilson, can you tell us your experience regarding expungement?
Having an expungement was a great experience. It was definitely a life-changing event. It definitely brought a lot of positive things into my life. It definitely opened up a lot of doors that was once closed in my face.
How did getting an expungement enhance your way of life?
Getting an expungement allowed me to go to truck driving school, to get my CDL, to provide a better way of living for my family, to provide a roof over their head, to be able to take care of bills and be able give me the chance to just live a good life.
How did you decide that taking in expungement was the route to go?
It was always something that I wanted to get off of my back from a choice that I made. I was always taught everything that we do in life have a good consequence and a bad consequence. The choice that I made allowed me to have a bad consequence, but as I got older and I made it through the cleansing period, I was able to have a good experience, and it gave me a better way to just basically be who I am as a person and not look down upon and not miss opportunities when it comes down to jobs and even just to do normal things with normal citizens. Because, when people know you are a convicted felon, it does change their way of viewing you as a person. Automatically, they just look at you in a negative light.
As a former client of attorney Alexis Wilson, can you tell us your experience with her?
Yes. Attorney Wilson is one of the best attorneys that I ever dealt with. She's knowledgeable. She gets straight to the point. She get the job done. She's very professional. She's also affordable, and anything that she can help you with, she's willing to go above and beyond in an extra mile.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson, for answering my questions and telling us your experience with dealing with expungements. Thank you for watching the Legal Tea Podcast. I'm your host, Eleni Clarkston. Until next time.